I knew something was wrong the moment she walked through the door. Her hair was still curled in a way she never did for me anymore. Her perfume clung to the room long after she set her purse on the counter, and her smile, forced, brittle, was the kind of smile people put on when they're carrying a secret. I didn't ask where she'd been, not at first. After 10 years of marriage, you learn to read the silence louder than words. And last night the silence screamed at me. But it wasn't until the following morning, when she sat across from me at the kitchen table, hands trembling around her coffee cup, that she said the words that cracked my world in half. "I went on a date last night." Just like that. No build-up, no hesitation. A confession dropped like a grenade between us. I stared at her, the sound of the clock ticking above the fridge suddenly unbearable. My first thought wasn't rage. It was disbelief. How could the woman I trusted more than anyone in this world look me in the eyes and say something so cruel, so final? "Come again." My voice was calm, but inside I was unraveling. She swallowed hard, her eyes darting away from mine. "I thought you should know. I met someone. Nothing happened, but we went out. Dinner. Drinks." Her words cut deeper than any physical wound. I couldn't stop picturing her across the table from another man, laughing the way she used to laugh with me, sharing stories, her hand brushing against his. I leaned back in my chair, forcing myself to breathe. "You went on a date. While you're still married to me?" She flinched, as if hearing it out loud made it real. "I didn't plan for it to happen. Just did. I was curious. I wanted to feel." She trailed off. "Wanted to feel what?" My tone sharpened. Her eyes glistened. "Wanted to feel wanted again." That hit me like a sledgehammer. 4 years I worked long hours, saved for vacations, tried to build a life where she would never feel lacking. And now she was telling me some stranger, someone who hadn't sacrificed a damn thing for her, gave her the attention I apparently couldn't. I wanted to yell, to demand details, to tear the kitchen apart in fury. But instead I sat still. My stillness scared her more than anger ever could. "You know," I said finally, my voice low, "a date isn't something that just happens. You didn't trip and fall into a restaurant. You made a choice." Her tears broke free then, sliding down her cheeks. "I know. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me." I laughed bitterly. "You don't know what's wrong with you. Let me guess. You downloaded an app, swiped right, got a thrill, and decided your marriage wasn't enough. That sound about right." She covered her face with her hands, sobbing. And for a moment, despite everything, I hated myself for still caring. I stood pacing the kitchen. My chest burned with betrayal, but beneath that, something colder crept in, a clarity I hadn't felt in years. She had drawn the line. She had chosen curiosity over loyalty. When I finally spoke again, my voice was steady, almost frighteningly calm. "You want to feel wanted. Fine. But don't ever expect me to compete for a place I already earned." She lowered her hands, eyes wide with panic. "Please don't say that. It was one mistake. I didn't sleep with him. I swear it was just dinner." "Dinner," I repeated. "Do you have any idea how much intimacy is hidden in that word? The stolen looks, the inside jokes, the feeling of possibility. Sometimes dinner is worse than sex, because it means you wanted his company." Her lips quivered. She had no defense. I leaned across the table, my gaze locking onto hers. "Last night you weren't my wife. You were his date. And today, sitting here, you're just a stranger who's telling me she doesn't love me the way she used to." That broke her. She reached for my hand, desperate, but I pulled away. "Please listen to me," she begged. "I love you. I don't know why I did it. I wanted to test myself to see if I still mattered outside of us. But when I was there, all I could think about was you." Her words, though tear-stained and frantic, sounded hollow. If she had thought about me, she wouldn't have been sitting across from someone else in the first place. I shook my head slowly. "You thought about me while smiling at another man, while letting him buy you drinks, while keeping this little secret tucked away. That's not love. That's selfishness." She collapsed against the table, sobbing into her arms. "No. Felt nothing. The pain had burned through me, leaving only ashes. For the rest of the day we moved around the house like ghosts. She tried to talk, to explain, but every word was just another reminder of the distance between us. I couldn't unsee the betrayal she'd painted so vividly with her confession. That night I packed a bag. She watched me from the doorway, her face pale, broken. "Where are you going?" her voice cracked. I zipped the bag shut. "Away. Need air. I need space. And you need to figure out what the hell you want." Her knees buckled as she clutched the doorframe. "Don't leave me. Please. I made a mistake, but I can fix this. I'll do anything." I stopped, looking at her one last time. "You want to fix this? Then start by admitting you destroyed something that can't be fixed." She shook her head violently. No, please don't say that. You're my everything." I felt the sting of tears in my own eyes but held them back. "Funny. Last night you wanted to see if someone else could be your everything. Now you'll have to live with the answer." And with that I walked out. In the weeks that followed, she called, texted, begged me to come home. She showed up at my brother's place where I was staying, crying on the porch. She promised therapy, promised change, promised she would never betray me again. But betrayal isn't just an act. It's a wound. And once you've been cut that deep, the scar never really fades. The last time I saw her, she stood outside with swollen eyes and whispered, "I don't recognize myself anymore." I looked at her, and for the first time I truly believed her. She didn't recognize herself. And I didn't recognize the woman I had once promised forever to. I handed her the divorce papers quietly. No yelling, no accusations. Just silence. And in that silence, she broke completely. Because sometimes, the most devastating reaction isn't rage or revenge. It's walking away without looking back.